There's a minute that has no fanfare. You find yourself constantly reacting to other people's moods, like a boat without ballast in a shallow sea. A comment pulls you, an ugly face pushes you, a silence swallows you. You spend the day serving the Clementine that night. He doesn't know how to say what was his. So something about you disconnect the hooks. It's not indifference. It's lucidity. You don't promise that you'll never get angry again. You promise that no one will have remote control of your center. In that moment, the dangerous emotional is born. Dangerous because that has no exposed buttons. Machiavelli would watch from the corner of his eye and approve. Visible power is not in the shout. It is in the self-control that disarms theaters. From here on, your presence stops asking for permission and becomes to find rhythm. You don't blow up for nothing. You blow up fair and visible scripts. Infinite pleasant script. You've learned that acceptance is survival. You say yes before knowing the cost. Trigger. Disappoint someone. Effect. You pay with time, sleep, and self-respect. Instant reply scripts. You confuse speed with value. Trigger. Tense message. Effect. You sold your attention cheap. Script you, Tom, you believe you need to clear up tone misunderstandings immediately. Trigger. Demand about how you said it, not what you said. Effect. You enters the stage that is not yours. Fear of missing out. Script emotional FOMO. Trigger. Silence from the other. Ambiguous story. Meeting without you. Effect. Compulsion for presence. Even when presence does not add anything. Lone hero script. You prove yourself useful by saving fires that started due to other people's lack of judgment. Trigger. Urgency of others. Effect. Burnout disguised as importance. They all have one tax in common. Predictability. When the world understands its buttons, programs, you. Emotion without direction turns public API. Anyone can consume. Anyone can write. Diagnosis is not guilt. It's a map. Once the kidnapping has been mapped out, the strategy changes from instinct to tendance calculation. It's not being cold. It is to buy and appropriate. Emotionally dangerous is anyone who keeps silence without punishment or haste. Choose War 1, there is value, and refuses War 1, it is vanity. Separates fact from interpretation, requests for blackmail, real theater urgency. Say now with criteria and sim with conditions. Think 5 to 15 steps ahead, foresight, not to manipulate, but tone it to be manipulated. Machiavelli, if we exchange prints for adult person, would say, seem available, be selective, seem impressionable, be unperturbed, seem slow, choose the moment. Dangerous. Hear a syllabub at the right point. Whoever doesn't read you doesn't dictate your plot. The room gets cheaper, drama loses value. Those who are trying to buy you urgently start offering your time earns interests without reflexive responses. You respond with direction. Each sentence becomes a track. Each track, progress. Respect goes up a level. It's not fear of you. It's confidence in your judgment. Serious people recognize those who don't lend emotion to theater. You suffer less from guesswork. Dangerous emotion does not read minds. Asks for clarity. Spoken agreements. Less noise. Decisions under stress improve you. Don't trade in panic. You wait for the water to go down, dot inside, and choose with plan. Practice 1, 90-second rule. Did you get a tense message? Timer 90. S. Breathe. 4 for 8. Ask, what is the fact? Write draft that does not send. After, edit in 3 lines. Fact, decision. Next is steppy. Result, you protect your axle and disarms hysteresis script. Practice 2, yes with a price, never yes alone. Always yes under these conditions. I can deliver A by Friday with quality XA plus requires plus 3 days or plus 1 person. You exchange blame by real economy. Practice 3, eye trafficking in aggressive conversation. Dekopleshi Gazi not fixed on the attack, lands on paper staff note. This takes fuel off the scene and reminds the group of where are we going. Practiced for frame silence before the central point break. After the period break, timeout is not punishment. It is attention architecture. Practice 5, not by contract without an owner and criteria. I don't move forward. I'll reevaluate when necessary. You refuse theater without fighting with actors. Practice 6, turn off invisible notifications, turn off other people's mood notifications. Signs of like, dislike that hypnotize you, Focus deliveries, not practice 7, 3 alternatives, and a point of no return for sensitive topics. Arrive with 3 pass in, 1 exit. Those who have a way out cannot be blackmailed. You stop being the emotionally reactive one and become predictable in values, unpredictable in tactics. Pillarsballast.com, evidence that you can please the edges. Express limits brave the conflict. Reputation, say less, deliver more. Be remembered for clarity, not foam. Balance. Protecting the process is protecting people, including you. When this becomes constant, invitations change. People who want a stage disappear. People who want to build appear. The email that never was, you would respond with irony. Stopped for 90 seconds. Rewrote. He sent 3 lines. The other, without a stage, got to the point. You saved yourself a week of resentment. The meeting that fit before there was noise. Now, you come in with 3 themes, 15 minutes each. In the end, owners and deadlines. The room learns your metronome. The elegant blackmail without you. This won't work. So let's define realistic scope or change the deadline. You return responsibility to whomever was outsourcing. The silence that taught they tried to draw you into intrigue. You offered a question and no adjective. The metadata of lack of oxygen. The invitation you declined status event. Zero substance. You stayed out, slept early, delivered something flawless the next day. Your reputation's fat. You're gowant on a diet. It's not punishing with ice. It's regular climate without torture. It's not about silencing vulnerability. It's about you staging right time. It's not manipulating. It's not to be manipulated. It's not about winning people over. It's about overcoming bad patterns. If you hurt someone with strategic coldness, times and repairs, the dangerous ethical and burn bridges out of vanity. Closes rotten bridges. Builds solid bridges. If your mental health is at risk, seek clinical support. Strategy is not a substitute for Week 1. Reduce inflammation, 90-second rule for every tense response. Removal of mood notifications, mutate toxic threads. That means day of walking without a screen and still looseful breathing. Week 2 borders and yes with price 1, non-contractual per day with alternative. A 90-minute shielded window for essential work. Close the day with executive summary. Facts, decisions, next steps. Week 3, speech density and test every meeting. Open with 3 shelves, his 1/2-3. 1 flawless delivery per day, short, auditable, cold debrief. What worked, what didn't, what changes. Week 4, Machiavellian reading plus silence. Rehearsal 15-minute day of strategic reading Vici. Reputation, timing. In 2 difficult conversations, use frame silence. Review of that point of no returning a project, when to stop, when to double down. In the end, you don't become a statue. You become a person with their own climate. Let's go in order. What is the verifiable fact? With this scope, this is the possible deadline. I decide when there is criteria, not volume. Without an owner, I can't move forward. I'll be back with a proposal at 5 p.m. I maintain silence. I do not maintain theater. I don't trade in panic. My yes has conditions. My no has care. Virtue ability to act plus fortune luck. Luck favors practical translation. Pre-decisions for likely scenarios. Defined exit point. Reputation built on the scene versus B. Machiavelli was not a fan of empty masks. To appear is signal the service of being. You foam trimming gain displays what it already is. Criteria.com/consistency. Reputation invest in an image that can withstand audits. Short words, clean files, promises paid. Anyone who tries to program you through affection loses interest when they realize that your per cannot be bought with applause. Protected unpredictability, it is legible in the value Sandupic in reactions. People without predictability become chaos. Completely predictable people become targets. Halfway clear on why, creative on how. Not to be hated, Machiavelli reminds us, it is better to be feared than loved, if you need to choose, but the point is not to be hated. In practice, impartial justice, sufficient explanations, coochie juicy wants, benefit. You turn hard with processes, No against people. The skidding meeting arrives, the crossed voices, the performative urgency. You enter with your own climate, does not ask for the floor. The word searches forum, 3 themes, 15 minutes each. Break, facts, decision, next step. Break, the stage empties. The characters transform into the air, which was making noise, becomes useful. No one lost. Theater is that he lost. That's where you got dangerous. No one controls your center. And because no one controls your presence, if this video brought you an Axis degree, right? I disconnect the hooks in the comments. It is a visible reminder, emotion in the service of purpose, not in favor of the stage. Share with those who live kidnapped by someone else's climate. May we learn together to better faculty, to program, and easy to trust.